Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm trying to turn my AC down so y'all can hear me. I hope y'all can hear me. So I want to talk about some things. I was reading an article last night about different laws and how things are changing just all over, the cities, different cities. And I was reading up on this article about different properties and different things like that. So I ran across this website as well to confirm the article truth, And I Googled some things on this website and ran across this website. And now, if you're a homeowner and decide to rent your property out, you in some cities, not all cities, in some cities, if you have rental property or you want to rent your property out to someone, you have to get it approved by the state, by the city that you're in, due to some kind of city ordinance and different things like that. You have to get it approved. You just can't do like you did back in the days, put a for rent sign up or put it in a newspaper. Everything desires permit everything, it just behooves me when they started the garage sale permits. You just can't have a garage sale anymore, but back in the days you could have a garage sale, no problem. Now you have to get the permits and they have to okay that and approve that. And now it's the same thing with rental property. And I'm like, what's the use of having, if you're not grandfathered in, okay? This is for the newcomers and you're not grandfathered in. And grandfathered in just only mean if you haven't had any existing properties that already been in place for over 10 or 20 years, so y'all exempt. So it doesn't apply to you guys who are already grandfathered in. But those who are, getting properties now, you have to get permission to do anything on your property. You can't build a shed. You can't do anything to your driveway. You cannot do anything to your patio. No kind of remodeling or construction without getting permits, without getting it inspected. I mean, all of this take place now. And I used to hear back in the days, now this was just a rumor, I don't know how true it is, but back in the days, I used to have some friends, they build just about anything. And they say the secret is, if you build it on the weekend, whatever you need to build, if you build it on the weekend, and you finish it, whether it's a shed or driveway or whatever, they told me, then you don't need a permit. But my thing was, what if the city code inspector or the code enforcer drive by and they know that your house has a new shed or a new garage or a new driveway, and they may have driven by there recently and they come back and it's something new in place. Well, to me, that will bring up a red flag. Then they might have the blueprints of the print of your home just to see, have you got a permit or permission to build that shed, to put that shed up on that driveway or that garage or whatever it is. So my thing is do the right thing. You know, that's my thing. Do the right thing. Know your stuff. Get permission. Whatever you have to do, because they can make you remove that shed. The garage and the driveway, they may fine you. You know. So it's just like moving a trailer, a manufactured home on your property now without getting permission, because you need to be surveyed about the land, you need to be inspected, you need to have permits, you need to get approval by the building inspection, the engineers, the property appraisals. All of that takes place now before you think about putting something on your land, which it is your land, but you know, we all have to go through, go by rules, regulation, codes and inspections and different things like that. So today I was in a business meeting, and so we were just sitting around after the business meeting, just really talking about business. And one of my associates said, well, you know, Vicki, they in the state of Texas now, if people are living in subsidized housing, and if their friends come over, their family members, whoever they are associated with or tied with, and they begin to act out, or they begin to stay longer than they supposed to, or they begin to smoke in their units, which all of them now is pretty much no smoking. And if you do smoke, you have to be so many feet away from the property or across the street and smoke. So subsidized housing have really changed, because I know in the DFW area it's so hard to get subsidized housing. If you have a voucher, you know, a lot of apartments and rental properties have stopped taking vouchers and subsidizing housing. They just about done cut it off in Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I had mentioned that. I say, why is it, you know, it's so hard to get housing now for those who've been on housing for years, and it's fading away, you guys. So I asked, I say, well, what happens when it fades away? And one of my associates say, I don't know, but it is fading away, and rules are really changing. So he mentioned that an 80-year-old woman was on subsidizing housing, and something happened. I don't know if well, I kind of know that kind of broke the rules by moving a family in, her granddaughter or something like that. But anyway, it got back to the owners, to the property manager, and they investigated, and she no longer can be on subsidizing housing nowhere in the state of Texas. Once you break the rules or get evicted, which she did, she got evicted. Getting evicted in the state of Texas and you're on subsidized housing, you can no longer qualify for subsidizing housing because you have got evicted. So whenever you get evicted, you're pretty much done in Texas if you own housing. So, you know, I'm just shocked that wasn't the case for her, and I'm pretty sure that she was probably thinking something like that on that term, that she's too old to move and she's just gonna stay put until she died. But that wasn't the case, and I'm pretty sure she didn't have a plan. But it was just sad to know that they are fading that out. They are getting rid of the subsidizing housing, and most of the housing is collaborating with other business, and the other business are taking over. So some of them are still taking subsidizing housing, but most of those who have taken over DHA housing are now doing without the housing. You know what I mean? Doing without the vouchers, and they going in and they remodeling and rebuilding the projects and different other things, and they making everything harder and stricter for those who are still on subsidizing housing. So then I know this particular area that I used to associate with them, and I used to teach classes there. And this particular property, they had done away with the subsidizing housing briefly, but the company that took over one of the DHA properties gave it back to them because, in other words, they didn't see no hope for these group of people. They didn't see no hope. They attempted for 6 months to make the change and to bring in and try to fix up things and reset some rules and everything. And they was like, we're not having that over here. So they just gave them back to Dallas Housing Authority, say, here, this property here, and we can't help them. They don't want to change. They don't want no help. So some people are comfortable being the way they are. Some people don't want to change. And this company said, here, y'all can have these, these set apartments back. We can't do anything because the people wasn't willing to change or participate or get involved or follow the rules. And it's very sad that when you see a certain area that desires to not to change but remain the same, and people came in trying to fix the property up and talk to the people. I don't know what all they did, but anyway, they laid the rules and the regulations down and began to start fixing the property up. And one of my associates said, as fast as they tried to fix the property up, the faster they would tear things up. So people don't like to waste money or time or energy and supplies on a project that they have worked so hard of building up. Then you have this certain area that is saying, no, we don't want that. We don't want that. And, my heart goes out to those who really want it in that area, that they won't change. They want to do better. They want growth. They want education. They want the learning skills. They want the empowerment. They want everything himself in that area. But it only takes a few of us to destroy and knock things down to where people will give up on us and will say, you know what, enough is enough. I can't help this person because this person don't want no help. Then you might have a handful, like I said, that destroy things, be disrupted, and don't want anything. And I look at my situation when I was, out there and a struggling mother, and at the time I wasn't married, but I wanted better. I wanted better for myself. I wanted better for my child. I didn't have an education at that time. I didn't have the knowledge like I have now, but I knew it was inside of me, but I just didn't know how to get what I wanted. I guess I didn't have the knowledge at the time, didn't have the right tools or equipment, didn't have no education. I wasn't connected to the right source or the right people. I didn't know how to get my hands on resources. I didn't know anything, the directions are what, you name it. And I was like at a standstill because I wanted it so bad. I wanted growth. I wanted change. I wanted to do better. And I would look at my situation, and sometimes I would just break down and cry because I was like, Lord, send somebody here that will help me. And so I was doing the best that I could as a single parent, and it was just like every time when I take one step or two steps, I would get knocked back or knocked down 4 steps. And it was very hard at that time, being a single parent. And I just only had one child. So I can just imagine if it was super hard for me, being a parent, a single parent, just imagine how hard it was for those who had a lot of children to take care of. But anyway, we were sitting there, so that's why I am so adamant about supporting low-income families and helping low-income areas to educate them and to teach them life skills, And I'm very excited to help, because I've been there, I've done that, and it didn't feel good, I tell you. But you do have some people who really want to change and who really want something. And my advice to everyone, for those who are willing to pull out of the poverty situation, and once God begins to bless you, never forget where you came from. And don't get too high-minded. Don't get too high-minded to remember that it's always someone or some people out there that really, really wants to change. Just because one bad seed, like they said, will spoil the whole bunch. But for those, you look out, you single out those who are really eager and want to change, because they will always be the one that will show up. They will always be the one that asks a lot of questions. They will always be attentive. And if they are having a struggle of not being attentive, they will definitely reach out to you and let you know. And they are not ashamed to ask for help. So when you see those kind of people who are willing and want to change and have a desire to change, those are the ones that need to be singled out, and you reach out to help them. But those who are not willing to change, you just have to let them remain as who they are and keep it moving, keep going, and look for those who are willing to change and willing to cry out to make that change. So I was one of those who were willing to change but didn't know how. And I was looking for someone that would reach out to me and say, hey, would take my hand, because I was young at that time, and sometimes you need people to take your hand. You can't walk alone. But if they give you that love and that push and that support at that time, and they teach you the tools and the strategies of how to survive, and just start with the basic on survival, because as the person get that opportunity, they will learn the basics on how to survive. Then they will go around entrepreneurs that will teach them how to thrive beyond survival. So, it wasn't easy, but like I always say, if something keeps coming back to you and you can't shake it, then that is the purpose and the plan that God have for you, for your life, to do that. And whatever your passion is, it will show. You will know what your passion is. I hear a lot of young people saying, well, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know my passion. But here you are, baby girl. You're doing nails. You're doing hair. You're making arts and crafts. Well, that could be your passion right there, and you're just not aware of it. Whatever your hands find to do and you're good at it, then do it. And if that's not your passion, then God will definitely reveal it to you. Sometimes you don't need a person to tell you what your passion is, because nobody really can tell you if you want to know the truth about it. You just have to seek God and seek out your soul searching and say, what is I'm good at? What do I want to do? See, there was a time, and I'm getting ready to end this, there was a time that I was shy. I didn't like to talk. I didn't like to be in the front of a crowd and just talk and lead the way. But something happened along the way. Something stirred up inside of me to push me forward. And I'm thankful and grateful that I didn't stay behind the scenes. Now, I know most people are not up front and center. Some people do their best work behind the scenes, but God knows that I wasn't the one that belonged behind the scenes. I was the one that belonged front and center, because, my mouth and my mouthpiece that He had blessed me with, was eager and wanted more. And I'm not saying the ones that behind scenes doesn't want more, but He knows who belongs in the front, and God knows who belongs behind the scenes. So I just wanted to give y'all some more information when it comes down to property tax, what you can put it on there, what you can put on your property, what you can't put on your property, the permits, and etc. Because I love growth. I love to share the information, and I love to learn as much as I know, to bring clarity to some things you may have no knowledge of, or you may be thinking about doing some things. And y'all let me know, share your thoughts and everything about my videos and stuff. All I ask to be respectful, but you can share your thoughts and everything. I really appreciate it. and give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Vicki Johnson. So I'm going to end this today, but y'all have a blessed and wonderful day. Bye-bye.